Oh, there's lots of different ways that we can categorize people. We do it all the time. It's what we do naturally, for fun even. Let's give it a try. There's only two types of people in this world. Those that divide people into two kinds, and those that don't. Or those who like pineapple on pizza, and those who hate them for it. Those who pronounce GIF with a hard G, and those who are wrong. Those who close their browser tabs when they're done with them, like responsible adults, and those who are never done with them. Those who ask why, and those who ask why not. Those who subtract 10 from your IQ when you use iPhone, and those that add 10 to theirs when they use Android. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig, etc. Today let's talk about another distinction. Those that want you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and those that tell you your problems are caused by a broken society. But what if they're both right? Hear me out. On one side, you'll hear the life stories of people who've made it. The famous, the wealthy, those who started with nothing and now have a life full of prosperity and purpose that most of us can't even dream of. They'll speak of an indomitable will, of trying and failing over and over and over, working really, really hard until they finally made it, and they'll sell you the same recipe for success. While I certainly think there is truth to this story, after all, many people who've made it really do work hard, this isn't the entire picture. First is the implication that if you're not among these top performers, it's because you're doing something wrong. Maybe you're not working hard enough, you're not doing the right things, or you don't have sufficient discipline or grit, and that shortcoming is blamed entirely on you. The tale of heroic success quickly becomes one of shame and scapegoating onto those that could have everything they ever wanted if only they would just do the work. Secondly, our successful role models are not a random sample by any means. There are plenty of hard-working individuals that are still struggling. Maybe they've burnt out and had to make compromise after compromise in their ambitions. Maybe they've become bankrupt and lost their homes. Maybe they suffer mental illness. These people don't have podcasts, multiple businesses, or millions of followers. So we never hear the stories about when hard work and grit don't pay off. We see the risks that generate reward, but we don't see the failed attempts. Now, let's stop this pity party right here and discuss the other side, the social justice warriors, and we will apply equal disdain to this side as well. Now, the social justice warriors realize that opportunity and even ability are not distributed equally. In a world that values productivity above all else, some of us are better equipped than others, whether through nature or nurture. And those of us with less capitalistic value often face significant losses in quality of life. Now, these advocates will be quick to assign discriminatory causes to any differences in outcome between individuals. Everything that anyone's ever gained is a result of some small, or not so small, bit of luck in the genetic or environmental lottery. While I think there's some truth to this view, we must be aware of the nasty picture that it paints for your life. By following this viewpoint to its ultimate end, we must all admit that we are completely powerless. If we have fortune, it was given to us. If we struggle to get by, that misfortune was given to us too. And nothing but random chance will influence our status. In reality, the bootstrappers are partially correct. You do have agency. Your prospects, of course, may not be as rosy as some would have you believe. You're not guaranteed to find success through hard work and decades of sacrifice, but you do have a chance, even if it's a small one. And the social justice warriors are partially correct in that our outcomes are not solely governed by our own wills. Some have massive head starts in terms of wealth, opportunity, and networking. When I started college, for example, I asked myself, what do I want to do with my life? As many others do. I thought about purpose. Because I had the privilege of not growing up poor, I didn't have to ask, how can I make money with my degree? Then there are those who, even in wealthy countries, don't even have the resources to consider going to college at all. I had a coworker from West Africa, and he would talk about entire extended families sending one student to the US for school. That person owed their whole family for their education. Even the other siblings would forego advanced education because the family couldn't afford to send more than one child. And the chosen child often selected a degree program that would allow them to directly influence the quality of life back home. For example, agriculture or development of affordable technologies or economic systems for developing countries. Or, after becoming employed, they would send some, and sometimes a lot, of their profits back home to support the family that made their education possible. I didn't feel indebted for my education, justifiably or not, and so I only concerned myself with studying what I wanted to study. This is a form of privilege. Of course, I am not at the top of the privilege hierarchy either. If you begin life with more of it, you might have networks that give you good job opportunities. You'll still have to perform well to keep said jobs, but everyone else has to go through the lottery meat grinder of online job applications and cold emailing and work their way into a good position over years or possibly decades. Or you might have been brought up in an environment where starting businesses was a way of life, so you do so at the age of 19, along with a $50,000 loan and business advice from your dad. I was in my mid-30s before I even thought of starting a business, and it'll probably be at least another decade, or more, before I take any serious action towards it, if at all. All of this is to say that evaluating whether or not you deserve to be where you are, or were simply placed there by external factors, is a pointless exercise. In most cases, it's impossible to disentangle the contributions to your success, or lack of success, from your efforts versus your circumstances. Or if, like me, you don't believe in free will, then you're not even responsible for your efforts either, but that's another topic already discussed. Nonetheless, I do still believe in agency, whether it's derived from free will or not. Whether your current lot was earned or given is irrelevant. You still have the opportunity to improve it, or at least to try. But where a narrow-minded social justice warrior might claim that success will be impossible for some, at least until societal inequities are fixed, and a narrow-minded bootstrapper might blame you for not being successful, the truth is more nuanced. There is no shame in struggling. You didn't create the problems that you face. But you are responsible for solving them, not because it is fair or just, but because most likely no one else will solve them for you.